Hey guys, welcome back. It's David with the B Squad. We are continuing our trend on Housing Month. Today, Ryan's sitting down with Katy Blythe and talking about a big trend, and that is scams when it comes to housing and how to avoid them, how to spot them, and take care of yourself whenever you're looking for housing. So, Ryan's going to sit down and do it. Please like and subscribe these videos and our YouTube channel. If you like us enough, you could be kind and share. So, we're excited. Let's get to it. Let's roll.
All right, guys, Ryan back with the B Squad. We are so thankful to be here on site at Gypsy Soul Villa with our good friend Katy Blythe and Nelson. They've been such great hosts to us. We are continuing our theme with Housing Month in the month of July. And so right now in this particular video, we're going to talk scams and tips and tricks, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about kind of what most people who are maybe new to the industry, what they can expect when it comes to those typical scams and just tips and tricks on how to avoid things that are just super obvious, right?
Right. One of the most important things I would say from the beginning, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
If you run across something that you're like, everyone else is charging $1,000 and this one's $300, it's probably a scam.
Mm-hmm.
If you read an ad and it's got bad grammar in it, you're probably looking at a scam.
Yeah.
That's some of those things. If you contact somebody, you're on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and you get someone who won't talk to you on the phone, they'll only text or email, or they tell you, I'm out of the country and I'm going to have someone meet you. You just need to, send me the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scam.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are really obvious. If they stop responding when you ask detailed questions, they really don't know the home, so they don't have those answers. So that's another one that's we always know is a scam when that happens. But when you don't know if it's a scam and it's not really clear, then you need to start asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk to your landlord, say, can you FaceTime me and show me the room so we can go through it together? Mm-hmm. Sometimes somebody will be living in that room and they can't do it. Yeah. But there's always a way you can get around that. You can ask to have that renter have that renter contact me. That way you're not asking for their phone number. Can you contact them so I can talk to them about the room? Because if they're in that room, they'll FaceTime you, or they'll take, you want a picture of the room. You've seen the pictures online. You know what the place is supposed to look like. But say, can you take a picture in the living room with the date on it, with today's date? And that picture should look different than the picture online, so that they're just not photocopying something in there.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that they can't show you that.
Yeah.
There's always
so have your radar up, right? I mean, that's kind of the obvious thing, but I mean,
right.
Sometimes you're just so excited to get that travel assignment that you're just kind of willing to do things maybe you normally wouldn't do in life, right?
Right, and that happens a lot because people are like, oh, I've got this assignment that's so great and I have to find something, and just take a step back and know that there's a possibility out there. And when it all comes down and you're like, okay, I know this is right, this is not a scam, I'm going to do it. My maximum I will send is $200
for a deposit.
For a deposit before I actually meet them. I understand from the landlord's point of view, they don't want to hold something because from the landlord's point of view, I hear people cancel and don't show up, and then they're out waiting to see what happens. Yeah. So I will send $200. Yeah. But that's
so how do you normally send that? Kind of Venmo or something, or?
It's different. I've sent a check. I've done Venmo, and I've done PayPal, or directly Zelle through my bank account. Yeah. So all those ways I feel comfortable sending it because I'm not giving them my credit card information. Yeah. So I'm comfortable with those things.
That's great. Now, when it comes to, you've got a very large following on some of your Facebook groups. I mean, you've got one of your housing groups has got 40, 50,000 people in it, right? I mean, that's a massive following. So I mean, you're seeing, and I'm seeing too, because I'm on there all day long with some of my folks on my team, and we're seeing housing options post up. And I mean, do you guys try to do your best to, hey, report folks that are scamming, and we want to get them off of this group, right? So that they're not continuously just scamming people. I mean,
yes, on my Facebook group, the Gypsy Soul Travel Nurse Housing Options, we ask everybody to report anything that they think is a scam, and we research it all of them. Yeah. And if we even have a 1% chance it's a scam, it's deleted.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we don't want to have any issues with any of our travelers.
Got to protect each other.
Yeah, and we have about 16 moderators. 8 of them are landlords, and 8 of them are travelers.
So it's a joint effort. That's cool.
Yeah, so we have it from both parts, and the landlords actually do a lot of the moderating of other landlords, which is really neat.
They don't want a bad name, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any given day, I mean, there's thousands of travelers out there getting housing and, working through those options and trying to do what's best for their family, right? Because, people travel for different reasons, right? And so a big part of it is financial freedom. So to be scammed in these things, I mean, it's just not cool at all.
Right.
Puts a bad taste in people's mouths and really, I think, just damages the industry a bit,
Yes.
right? For people wanting to go and travel. So.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Well, what else? Is there any tips and tricks along the way? I know we talked a little bit of some of the high-level scams, but just other tips and tricks that people should know as they enter the travel industry?
Yes. Whether you're renting a room, renting an apartment, going to an extended stay, whatever you're doing, you're going to have some basic questions you want to ask the landlord, manager, because you need to know what to pack before you get there. So you want to know, is it furnished or unfurnished? So, do you need an air mattress or is there a bed? Or do they allow pets? How about smoking indoors? If you smoke indoors, that's great. But if you don't want to smoke a room that's got smoke in it.
Sure.
How's the parking? Is it on street? Is it private? Do you have to pay for it? There's all those choices. How's the bathroom if you're renting a room? Is it shared or private? Because to me, that's a big difference. I only take private bathrooms.
I would too.
Do you have a private entrance? Sometimes you rent a room in a home, but it's actually a private entrance and a private bathroom, and it's almost like a little apartment. So don't be afraid to look into those rental rooms because sometimes that is available at a very good cost.
Yeah.
Is there heat and AC? You might think that's a normal question, but it's not. In California, along the coast, a lot of places don't have AC. And if you have a hot day and you work days, you might have an issue.
Yeah.
What's included? Towels, linens, kitchen utensils, or any of those things there, or do you have to provide your own? Can you have a guest over? How often can you have a guest over, and can they spend the night?
And that's probably more prevalent in just, renting a room,
Renting
right?
a room. And that's important. If you have a spouse who comes to visit you occasionally, you want to make sure they can actually stay with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will there be a credit check? And this is a big one because if there's a credit check, it's going to hit your credit. Now, some places do a soft credit check, Furnish Finder, I think, if you go through them and the landlord goes through them, it's a soft check so it doesn't ding your credit.
Gotcha.
So that's a big difference. Is it a month-to-month or lease? If you have a lease, can you get out of it if your contract gets canceled? And how many people live there? If you're renting a room in a home and there's one person who lives there, it's much better than if there's a family of 6.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to know that. And is it owner occupied or just set up for travel nurses? And this is a big trend right now coming up. People are buying 4 and 5 bedroom homes and setting them up just for travel nurses or just for medical professionals. And I've stayed in one of those and it was awesome because it was like having a little apartment except access to the full kitchen and living room.
Yeah, that's cool.
So those are some of the tips that I write down when I call and ask for stuff.
Now, how long you been traveling?
For over 10 years.
Okay. So you've got a wealth of knowledge there. We're just so thankful that you sit down with us and just share some of that with the thousands of people out there who've never traveled before, looking to travel or are traveling that have just run into a lot of the same things you have, but we're able to encapsulate and have a conversation around that. So I think that's cool. So very cool. Scams are prevalent, man. I tell you, anywhere there's dollar bills, there's going to be people looking to scam. So.
Definitely.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the B Squad and sitting down with our special edition this month of July of Housing Month with Katy Blythe and the Villa. I tell you what, if you have a chance to get to Yaleville, Arkansas, you should do that. So, but if you like what you see, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We want to spread the word and get out there. So, until next week, thank you so much for coming by.